Find the kinetic energy of the recoil nucleus in the positronic decay of N13 when the energy of positrons is maximum. So I hope you have done problem 6.241 because we are going to use some of the concepts from there when we are going to solve this with relativistic mechanics. So again, like the previous problem, we are going to do it with both the methods. So this is the wrong method, but still we are going to do it. And then we will do it with the accurate way. So let's do it with the wrong way quickly. So this is using the classical mechanics approach by equating momentum and, by conserving momentum and energy. So how this is different from the previous problem is that in previous problem, daughter nucleus was at rest. But here, neutrino will be at rest, so that energy of positron can be maximized. So this is the reaction, and because the energy of positron has to be maximum, so this neutrino must be at rest. What will not be at rest is this carbon daughter nuclei, so that momentum can be conserved. So we'll write the Q value, and we have seen that for the beta plus decay, this is the formula for the Q value. So we'll just put those values and get this answer. So this is the energy between this and this. Now again, using approximation, electron will have most kinetic energy. So we'll give all the energy to the electron and find the value of momentum. So energy of electron is equal to P square by 2me is equal to Q value. So we are giving all the energy to the electron. And energy of the daughter nuclei is now P square by 2mc, and we'll put the value of P from here to here. So P is root of 2me into Q, so P square is 2me into Q. Divide by 2mc, so it will reduce to EE into me by mc. So now if we just put the values, we'll put the value of EE here and me and mc also. So carbon with mass number 13 is 13 into 1823 times larger than mass of electron. So we simplify that and we get the answer 0.05 kilo electron volt. So this is the energy of carbon. So from here you can see that the energy of the, so again just like in the previous problem, if we just equate the energy of the positron with half mv square, you will get the answer to be 2.1 cc, which is not possible. So that's why our approach is wrong. Even though answer will be, you will see that answer is not that different, maybe 30-40% here and there, but not much. Now let's see the correct approach. So positron has a high velocity, so that's why we cannot, that's why we have to do it with relativistic mechanics. So energy available to neutrino and positron, including its rest energy, is now given by mass of N minus mass of carbon, that's it, into C square. So this is the whole energy available to positron and neutrino. So we are given mc, we are not given mc minus. So we'll write this as minus mc plus me. So we'll take this extra electron out, and now mn minus mc we know to be this, and me into c square will be 1 into 0.51. So this gives 1.71 mega electron volt. Now this whole energy we can just give to positron, and how much that energy will be, that will be given by this equation, root of E square minus me square into C4. So this gives the value of PC comes to be, so we'll put the value of EE here because we are giving all the energy to the positron, and me C square whole square will be 0.51 whole square. So this gives the value of P to be 1.63 by C mega electron volt, and now energy of the daughter nuclei is P square by 2m. So P is this times 2 times mc. So we solve that, and again one simplification, mc into c square. So if we write it in terms of AMU, then that will be 13 into 931 mega electron volt. So Actually, this should be 1.63 only. Once again. Okay, my mistake. It should be just 1.63 only, and therefore you will get the answer 0.11 kilo electron volt. And what we got here, so yeah, we are off by almost double. So correct answer is double of what we got from here. That's why this is the accurate approach. All right.